Hey there veggies, so I've made a couple of Everquest landmark videos and I've still had some questions on what they actually need to do when they just start the game. So a few people are having a bit of difficulty when they first get in, which is quite understanding. There is a little getting help section on the help button which tells you what to do in your first 10 minutes, but sometimes it's better to see it. So what I'm going to do is on this little video I'm going to go through excuse me, I'm going to go through making the essential items and also where you need to go to get the resources from. So when you first spawn, you're going to be in this area. This is the portal spire. This has your workbenches and a portal in the middle. You can make most of these workbenches for your claim, but for most of the time, well at least for the early stages, you're going to be using them from here. So first things first, just look in your bag. If you press I, you should have a pickaxe. If you've got a founder's pack, you'll have the founder's pickaxe, which is both a pickaxe and an axe, or you'll have separate ones. So you want to be making sure that these are on your bar. So if you've got an axe and a pickaxe and you haven't got a founder's one, then you want to put both the axe and pickaxe on. If you've got a founder's one, which is blue one, then just put that one on its own. You won't have a sickle yet. You will also have this portal stone of recall. So this is what you use to get back to the portal spear and back to your claims. So you'll want to be putting that on there as well, because it's quite useful. So some of the first things you need to do, you need to make a claim flag, and you need to make a couple of items that'll help you find the ores and the gems. So I'll quickly show you the recipes. So if you look in your menu by clicking the shield button and clicking recipe down, or press L and it'll bring up this, you can see in the Tinkerer's Workshop, by clicking it, and we scroll down a little bit, there's a claim flag. So the claim flag, which you might have to open up, requires copper ore and heartwood, and it needs 300 copper ore and 1 heartwood. This is one of the first things you need to make. You could also do with, oops, sorry, wrong, there we go, and either an ore prospector or a ground sander, or ideally both, but we'll make one first. So they require similar amounts of resources, except one needs more agate and one needs more copper. They're going to cost you the same anyway, regardless. So looking at the ground sounder, we need 100 ether shards, 5 smelted copper, 10 cut agate, and 5 heartwood. Now these two we have to process. This is not raw ore and gems, this is processed ore and gems, which will actually use more ether shards. So we're going to have to go ether shard farming as well. So the reason we want these items is the ground sander or the prospector will basically point us in the direction of ores. If we go diving through caves, it'll help us navigate the caves, or it'll just help us find the ores we're looking for on the surface. So they're the essential thing, because the last thing is a grappling hook. This is pretty much essential for inside caves. In my experience though, once you get inside the caves, after you find a couple of chests, you'll end up with a better grappling hook, but it's worth making one anyway, because it's so cheap. And this is 5 copper, smelted copper and 100 ether shards. So as you might be able to already see, there's quite a bit of a bottleneck on ether shards and, well, just ether shards. So what you can do is you can click start tracking and it will tell you what you need to gather, and I think you can actually track more than one thing. So we'll do the ground sander as well, yep, and we'll do the claim flag as well, and we'll drag this out a little bit. So it doesn't really work on mine because I've got most of the resources. And so we'll get started. So this is where you start. If you press M for your map, you can see it's quite big. You can get resources from anywhere on these, but I think what we'll do is we'll head north and follow this green area around and head to the water. And the reason being for that is, on the way we'll find trees and rocks and ores and all that, but then once we get to the water, we will hopefully find a few more ancient earths, which will give us a faster way of getting ether shards. On the way though, what we'll do is we'll kill some monsters, because they are a quick way of getting ether shards, a little bit more reliable than looking for ancient earth, but they don't reward you with as much. However, we don't need that much. So let's get started. So it was north, wasn't it? So the compass up here, pointing north. We'll start getting some resources. So press your hotkey button for the tool you need. So this is agate. You just learn what they look like, and you just mine away. If you click loot, it will tell you how many you're getting. So we're going to need quite a bit. It's not going up on my tracker because it's cut agate that we need, so we actually have to process this. But just collect as much as you can. And same for the copper. It's processed copper. Copper is also useful for paying the land fees for your claim, so as much copper as you can get. With one claim it's about 300 a day. I think you can pay up to 15 in advance, so you want to get as much copper as you can as well. On the plus side, it's not rare or anything. So there's some copper, there's some agate, and we're going to continue to head north. Don't be turned off by steep hills. Most hills you can climb. So this is a mushroom. These explode when you walk next to them. You set it off and then run back into it. You can actually get quite a bit of stone and dirt. If that's, you know, if you was going to build with them, then it's useful. I don't see why not to get them. So trees, same thing. If you've got an axe and a separate tools for these, then you have to click your axe. If you're using the founder's pickaxe, you can just click the tree. Sometimes it doesn't automatically start whacking a tree. It'll whack it once and stop. Just click it again. It seems like a little bit of a bug, but so see, it stopped there after I clicked it. But if I click it again, it'll start chopping it down. You may find on some trees you have to move about just to get in the right position. It can be a little bit picky sometimes. So what we wanted is we wanted heartwood. Now trees give you baled wood or plain wood, but they occasionally, every now and then, drop heartwood. It's not particularly rare either. I think you'd probably get one from every single tree, at least. So yeah, every time I get one of these green ones, that's a new heartwood, so it doesn't take long to farm the heartwood. So let's assume that I've been around and I've chopped a load of trees down, I've mined a load of agate, and I've mined some copper, because I've already got quite a bit anyway. We also need ether shards. So the quickest way to farm, well, it's not the quickest way, the easiest way is to kill the mobs. Now abominations hurt quite a bit. I have trouble avoiding them, especially as a melee, and the white wisps I find to be very easy. Now if you look at button 5 on my bar, you see I've got some potions. You'll start with potions, so if you need to use them, use them. Just bear in mind they don't restore all your health, they restore it over time. So just whack away at it, hold the mouse button down, you have to click, and eventually they'll drop some items for you. And I actually didn't get any ether shards there, but I did get a broken primal blade. And there's a mushroom there, so I need to avoid that. Which I didn't do a very good job of. And as you can see, this is hurting me quite a bit. But as long as you don't attack a couple at the same time, you'll be alright. Or you can avoid the abominations and just go for the easier mobs if you so desired. I'm gonna pop a potion. I have the lightning sword here, and if I'm honest, I don't think it's much better than the default one you get. So that one gave me ether shards, it gave me 28. So it's not very many, but for the first few items we're not actually looking for that many. So we'll also kill this wisp. These are quite easy, they shoot, but if you keep moving around them, you probably won't get hit. It'll just be a bit of a pain to hit with a melee weapon, that's the only issue with them. And there we go, that's dead as well, and I got 29 ether shards from that. So, if you run around and start killing a lot of things, you'll watch out for these chompers. I'll show you one. I'll show you the chompers as well, because these are the ones you'll find on the surface. These shoot and do a few shooty moves, but they shoot 3 times and they hit. But if you don't get hit, they're easy. So just bear in mind it's going to shoot. It's going to shoot 3 times. Try and stay behind it. now it's going to shoot some up in the air and it's going to put some poison on the ground. It don't hurt very much, I just tend to fight through it. It's the spitting that hurts. And that's dead. And that gave me a small magic fire mote and some ether shards. So, of the items I got a broken primal blade, some ether shards and a emitter. The emitters are used on your claim, just for decoration. But the broken primal blade are used in crafting, and they are worth keeping, so don't destroy them or get rid of them if you fill your bag up. Right, so I've been around, I've gathered my ether shards, I've gathered my copper, and I've gathered my agate. Now if we press our portal stone, which is on 0 on mine, and we go back to the portal sphere, which I am actually on cooldown for, I think it's about 5 minutes. So all I'll have to do is I have to run back. So if I look on my map, you can see it's there, so I'm just going to run back there. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back there, and we're going to go craft a claim flag, and we're going to go craft useful tools. Now, a claim flag is used for basically making a claim on the land, so you can build whatever you want. Oh, excuse me a minute, I've got a bit of a cold. It's making it difficult to speak. So continue to gather resources. These go in a separate bag, so if you click this one, you can see they're in a separate place. They don't take up your inventory space. All the other stuff does. So these emitters do. So if you get too many of them, either stick them in your bank or start destroying them. Your bank, if you've paid for the game, you should have a vault item that you can actually just place down your claim as soon as you get your claim. You can start using the bank. Right, so we're back at the portal spire, and we want to make a grappling hook, a ground sounder, and a claim flag. So, Tinker's workstation, left click it, wait for it to load up. So claim flag tells you how many you can make, so we'll just craft one. That's a claim flag made. You can see it said received in my loot. Utility, ground sounder. So I haven't got the smelted copper, so we need to sort out the gems. So first of all, we need to go to the, I can't remember what this is called, but it's a smelting place. Stone Forge, that's it. And if you scroll down a bit, smelted metal, smelted copper. So we need about 20 of them. So we can turn this up, craft 20 of them, and you can see it uses some ether shards as well. So you're gonna have to bear that in mind when you're collecting your ether shards. And we also want some gems, but I think that's actually on the Tinkerer station. So back to Tinkerer. Cut gemstone, cut agate, and it's about 20 of them as well. And we should now be able to start making some of our useful items. So I'll make the ore prospector just because I haven't got one yet. So you make that. Also make your grappling hook. And now we have the basic items, and as you can see there, I've actually gained a blue grappling hook on that one. It just seems to be random what kind of quality you get. So if I look in my inventory now, I've got my new grappling hook, still not very good, an ore prospector, and a claim flag. So what you want to be doing is you want to be equipping that, so you right click it and it'll equip, and then when you press Q you can actually grapple. And you also want to be dragging your ore prospector or your ground sounder. If you can only make one, I would suggest you make the ground sounder to the bar. And you also want to be looking for some land. So what you can do with this is if you right click the claim flag, the map will come up and it will show you where you can actually make a claim. So you can't claim on red, you can on blue. So you can only claim for a certain distance, so you'll actually have to run to it. So if I want to make a claim, say in the bottom where the blue is, I'd have to run down there And it's best to go and check the area out, because if you make a claim from this far away, you might actually make a claim on a mountain and it might be useless land. So basically, run to the area, if you like it, use your claim flag, and then when this map comes up, just click it, and that area is yours, and only you can build on it. And that is it for the basics of this game. These tools will help you with your mining, and it will just basically get you into the game. And then if you watch my other videos, you can see how to use them effectively. Hopefully that has cleared some of the questions up that people have asked me, and I hope you have fun in the game, and thank you for watching.